Just some correction of yesterday's discussion, because these are kind of continual, although today is a new verse, 106. On yesterday I was discussing something about the limits and experience of the Manjaris in some way with the Madhurarati. They're in Madhurarati because they would have no access. The Manjaris would have no access to the intimate pastimes, Nibrita Nikunja Lila, of Radha and Krishna, unless they were in Madhurabhav. So they're in Madhurarati, but the specific variety or expression of that Madhurarati, it's slanted towards Radharani, and the entire emphasis is on seva. So that's called Bhavalasrati. So they're fully identifying with that. But there are some verses in the first verse of Vilak Kusumanjali, which is the basic bhajan Bible for everyone in Raganuga Bhakti, because it gives so many sevas in different time periods of the day. Pratak Lila, Madhyan Lila, etc. So the very first verse in Mangala Charana, Das Goswami Pad, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das is glorifying his Shiksha Guru and the chief Mukhya Manjari of all of them. Number one is Rupa, number two is Rati or Tulsi. And she's saying, oh Tulsi, your husband, oh Rupa Manjari, I know that your husband has gone to Mathura to buy some more cows. So he's long gone, he's been gone for a few days, but I can see that you're very expert in your vow of chastity, but how have your lips become bitten and bruised? Perhaps some parrot has landed on the ripe cherry red lips of your lips and mistaken them for some luscious, delicious ripe fruit? Is that what happened? And the Acharyas say this verse and so many direct verses, as we heard yesterday, that Radharani, in Radharasudanidhi, being very pleased with her Manjaris, she wants to reward them, and she wants to test them, and she wants to glorify them. This is a repeat of yesterday. So she orders the Manjari and Sham. She says that the Manjari is praying in the verse. She says, Shri Radha Dishisha, says some Shlushya, Sham. Radharani orders me to embrace Krishna, to look at him very enticingly and seductively, and wrap him in a tight embrace, and then speak some words like this, have some exchange in Madhurarati, some conjugal intimacy to a certain extent. And these type of verses are there. So in my description I mentioned that sometimes, and I read from Madhyan Lila and Govinda Lila Amrita during the Vamshi Chori Lila, when Krishna deliberately hides his flute somewhere. Actually the gopi, he inadvertently dropped his flute, then a whole search began. And while he's searching the gopis, he's also enjoying their charms. I think you stole my flute, and the Manjari or gopi who has it has already passed it on. And Krishna says, I have to search, raise your hands in the air, like the policemen when you do some crime, they like this and they search you. So Krishna searches every part to make sure the flute's not here or there. So while he's doing that with Rupa Manjari or Rati Manjari, they say, so Rupa Manjari says, so you're happy now? You got a chance to fondle my breast and enjoy me, now you're happy? So it's clear that this type of thing doesn't go on between a master and servant, or the master of the house and his ladies that wash the pots and pans and clean the floors or whatever. So this is clearly these exchanges of intimacy with Krishna Manjaris. There is some experience of the bliss of direct Madhurarati, because it's a seva to Radharani and it's her order. But in that description I said sometimes they embrace Krishna, sometimes they make his Krishna, because that was the previous verse, Chumbitam, the word is there, that Krishna kisses them to reward them, because Radharani directs him, so he kisses the Manjaris, embraces them. They look, and I also said, and sometimes Krishna gives the Manjaris his tumble. And one devotee asked afterwards, are you sure about that? So then I looked back and I realized I couldn't find the praman or verse to prove that point, because generally what happens is Manjaris receive as we mentioned in one verse, and you maybe were there, that they receive the Mohan Mohini Mahaprasadi. First Mohan, Vishaka Lalita, they make tumble, this pan, betel nuts, and offer it to Krishna, and he relishes it, so it's called Mahaswaditena. 2 verses ago. It's called Mahaswaditena Swadanam, Rasa Swadanam. Swaditena means after relishing. You can sit here, the mats are here. Translate. Oh. Well, some people can move up so they can sit in the back and still don't mind. I mean, we got all these mats and serve the devotees. Please move up so these other devotees can sit in the back on the mats. It's okay. I don't bite. At any rate, so there's this Mohan Swaditena. So Krishna takes the Maha tumble, then he kisses Radharani, she receives it, and then Radharani gives it to the Manjaris. So we know, and this is written many places, where Radharani directly rewards her Manjaris with the Mohini Mahaprasadi tumble, or other prasad from her remnants. And even that verse is there, Radha Uchishta, I'm only hankering for the Uchishta of Radharani. So it's not that Krishna gives directly his tumble to the Manjaris, at least I haven't seen that, but they receive that particular item from Radharani. And the speciality of that is that this Bedalnad or tumble of Radharani is never ever given to a Sakhi. I mean, one of the Priyanarma Sakhis or Paramapresha Sakhis is only given to the Manjaris. That's for sure. So and this is a unique experience of the Manjaris. So that's the correction. You were correct. So back to the verse. He's hankering for 3 services, so we can. This one translation, when can I look through the slits in the arbor? And another translation says, whenever my hands are befittingly used for drawing indescribable pictures on your breast, and whenever my feet are used for following behind you as you rush out to meet your beloved Shamsundar on a rendezvous, and whenever my eyes are used for viewing your solitary sports through the lattice holes of the bower house, O Radhe, will there ever be such a lucky day for me? So I mentioned the title of this verse is the perfection of the hands, perfection of the feet, perfection of the eyes. So this verse describes how the eager maidservant is longing to serve Radharani with her hands and feet and eyes. And we've all read the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's also mentioned by Rupa Goswami Pad, how King Ambarish Maharaj, which you mentioned before, he served Bhagavan with all of his senses. His feet were used to run to the temple or run to Mangalarti, as we often do in Vrindavan or wherever. And his feet were used to run around on Prikrama or run out on Harinam. And his eyes were used to see the faces of the devotees and the beautiful faces of Thakurji, the Srimurti of Radha and Krishna. And his mind was used to think of Krishna. In this way he was totally involving all of his senses. He engaged everything he had. And he's the exemplar. He's the exemplar of bhakti absorption, cited by Rupa Goswami Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu when he's discussing Samanya Bhakti. Samanya Bhakti means the general practices of devotion. Vaidhi Sadhana, the 64 limbs of devotion, the 64 various practices, which include the 9 Navavida Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtana, Vishnu, Smarana, Padasevana. So here the Manjari this is a little different, this is very focused and specific, because Ambarish Maharaj is in the mood of Vaidhi Bhakti, and he's a pure devotee in this, in Dasyarati, at least in the mood of Dasyarati towards Vishnu. And he wants to be so absorbed, so the Raganuga Sadhaka, who's the Kamanuga Ragatmika, following the Ragatmika Janas, so he's following Anugata, the rag of the Kamanuga Ragatmika Sakhis of Vrindavan, Lalita, Vishaka, Rupa and Rati, Manjari. So his whole meditation is Radhadasyam, the service of Radharani. His eyes are fixed on Radharani, his mind is fixed. Because here in this verse, the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, describing the glories of Ambarish, it says, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor, that his mind was always Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor, Vachamsi Gunav Arnave. He was always absorbed in speaking the glories of Krishna, actually, specifically, Vishnu, but the word is used as Krishna. So in similar ways, so the Manjari Upasaka, the Raganuga Bhakta, who's aspiring to realize and his Manjari Sarup as conceived by his own ruchi, or given directly by Guru, which is traditional, or by revelation, very rare, but by revelation through Shuddhanam, Bhajan, and the Kripa of Mahants, Vaishnava Kripa, and Guru Kripa, and Chaitya Vapusha. 11th canto of Bhagavatam, there's a verse cited also in Vartman Chandrika, that all the details about practicing higher forms of bhakti are revealed by the spiritual master. It's in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, Uddhava Gita, Krishna's teachings to Uddhava. And he's saying that all the teachings and instructions and methodologies and the path to go further and higher in bhakti, through Vaidhi, to Rag, and on into Bhav and Prema, the Prema Tattva and Bhakti Tattva and Sadhana Tattva, all these tattvas, that's all explained by the spiritual masters as Acharya. It says Acharya, then it says Chaitya Vapusha. Either the Acharya, the external Diksha or Shiksha Guru, that's one Acharya, or the Antaryami, Paramatma within the heart. And that term is used as Chaitya Vapusha, Chaitya Vapusha. Vapu means form. Rupam and Vapu, form or substance. So the Vapu, the Chaitya means the living consciousness, the living guidance of Krishna within the heart. So he will, it's called realization. In Hindi we say prarana. Prarana means inspiration from the heart. So those sadhakas that are extremely thirsty and extremely sincere and deeply absorbed in Nam Bhajan, and they're near aparadhi and nishkam, because these are the basic requirements to be even fixed in nishta. Raganuga Bhakti begins and can begin, and often does begin for many sadhakas, at the level of at the level of anartha-nivritti, right in the beginning. Diksha means bhajan kriya. Diksha begins, bhajan kriya begins, the practice of bhajan begins after diksha. Everything else is preparing. Just like in school, some people in India especially, they have something called tuitions and tutors and all kinds of books, and they read so many things and they study and so many things with hired tutors or counselors, whatever you want to call them, proxy teachers, to prepare themselves to go to some courses, because they want to be well equipped when they go there for some examinations. But they're not in the school, they're just reading on their own, studying the subject matter to be strong and be sharp when they actually begin their classes. So they're not getting any credit for that studies or those tuitions, or what they call tuitions, or tutoring, we say tutoring in America, but they're deepening their attachment, familiarity, and understanding of the subject matter they're pursuing. Then finally they go into college and they enroll and then they study, they take exams and they get their qualification and degree. So everything before Diksha is good at purifying, elevating, and preparing the field. It's preparing the field, because without preparing the field properly, you cannot plant the seed. And Diksha is a planting of the seed. Brahmanda Brahmadikam Bhagavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. By the mercy of Krishna, devotion comes in the heart, even without Guru. It happens. Or by the mercy of Guru. Guru Krishna says, Guru Pai, somehow or other that's given to someone. then we begin. But even if one begins the practice of Bhakti Bhajan due to intense inspiration of the Super Soul, that would be the Bhakti given by God. Because many people, they start reading, they start chanting, they buy nekbis, they start following principles, they heard somewhere. So Krishna became their Shiksha Guru through the mouths of other devotees, through the words in the books, and maybe, well, now you can say through internet or whatever, reading articles. They became inspired. Inspired means Chaitya Vapusha. Chaitya Vapusha means the Paramatma within the heart says, do it, surrender, follow, practice. So the bhakti has begun. But everywhere, for that bhakti to go from there to prema, they need the seed of prema. And the seed of prema and the rati, sthaya rati, is given by Guru and Diksha. Because without that, you're doing bhakti, and you'll do bhakti and it's very good, and you'll do bhakti life after life, and that bhakti will elevate you to meet Sadguru. And Sadguru will give you Diksha. So this is a little bit side point. So the eagerness, the mind is fixed. So Ambarish, he was engaging all his working and knowledge, acquiring senses, beginning with the mind. So we can see a parallel there, because 9th canto of the Bhagavatam, the entire Bhagavatam is bringing us to Braj Leela. This is the crown on the body of the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam is compared to the body of Krishna. The 1st and 2nd canto of the Bhagavatam, this is in Bhagavat Mahatmyam and Padma Puran. Padma Puran, Bhagavat Mahatmyam describes the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 12 cantos, are like the body of Krishna. So the 1st and 2nd canto are the feet and legs of Krishna. And then the 9th canto is like the chest, the 10th canto is the head, and the smiling face is the Ras Leela chapters. And 11th canto is actually the crown. But this is the topmost understanding, the final essence, the jewel in the crown, you can say, of the Bhagavatam, is the Braj Bhakti. Braj Bhakti, especially the Gopika Bhakti of Radharani, the Divyanmad. It's like the ocean, there's this wave and that wave, and then there's the biggest wave of the day. And the ocean has moods. The ocean has its own moods and its own waves and tides. And the people that ride the waves, sometimes in a whole day there's one big wave. I don't mean tidal wave. There's just 5 foot, 6 foot waves, and then one wave. So did you see that wave? So this wave of the Bhagavatam is so many small waves coming in the 10th canto. There's Sakya Ras and Vatsalya Ras. And then we come to Madhur Ras, Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, Veno Geet, and then Pranaya Geet, and then Viraha Geet, and Gopi Geet, like 6 Gitas in the 10th canto. One is Mahishi Geet, but 5 are all to do with the gopis. And there's Veno Geet, and then Pranaya Geet, and Gopi Geet, and then there's Viraha Geet. So that they all these waves, the big wave is Brahmar Geet. Brahmar Geet is chapter 47, when Uddhav comes, and then he witnesses the pinnacle of prema, the Shekara. The Shekara means the dome, the topmost, the crest of all prema. All those waves are waves of Braja Prem in the 10th canto, Braj Leela. The Gitas are different waves. But then Radharani's Divyanmad with its Gorna and Chitra Jalpa, this is the topmost. And this is the whole purpose of the Bhagavatam. So Lord Chaitanya came 5,000 years later, and he said, yes, now enter that Brahma Gita, enter that Braj Leela, and serve Radharani. She needs many servants because of the ocean of her emotions. It's so vast, and there's so many waves, and she needs so many maidservants to serve her. So then he's preaching this Radhadasyam. So this whole idea is to develop this consciousness. So all these verses, these are about seva, because what is a manjari made of? Seva, seva, seva. So we're always reminded by our acharyas that are teaching Raganuga Bhakti, this seva and that seva. Why? Because they want to give us the full picture of our career. We're applying to be the maidservants of Radharani. Well, already, as I mentioned in previous classes, all these sevas that we're hearing about are already done eternally by various sakhis that are delegated. That's their nitya seva. to paint Radharani's feet, breasts or her feet, paint black dye or brush her hair. But then the Manjaris, the aspiring sadhaka, he's saying kada, kada, he's saying yade vikshe rade tvam bhavitakim shubhadinam. I will also do that service. All the services that are done by Sakhis, practically all of them, the Manjaris will also do. So we will become Manjari, and we will have our Nitya Seva, as they all have their Nitya Sevas. Like we may get the Nitya Seva of Chamar, fanning. But that's already the service of Rati Manjari does Chamara fanning, and there's so many do Chamara, thousands of Manjaris do Chamara fanning. So where do we get our opportunity? Every 3,000 days or every 10 million days? No, as I mentioned, there's for every parivar, every family. Like in your family, you have your mother and your father and your grandfather and great grandfather, etc., etc., on, and uncles and mamas and chachas and all these things in India. So I also have mine, and we're all living in the same country. So when you go there to Paramdam, to Goloka Vrindavan, you have your family. So you have your Radharani and your Vishaka, and so then it's all very small, and it accommodates everyone. So the first thing, so we read these services. They're meant to capture our mind. Oh, this is very sweet. That's the very beginning point of Raganuga Bhakti, is you're captured. It says lobha. Lobha means something captures you. Lobha means greed, intense hankering, intense wanting. I have to have it. I want to have it. I need to have it. I must have it. Have it, if it's an object, or have her, or have him, if that desirable, what you desire as a person. I must have him, I must have her as my wife, husband, etc. Or I must have that object. And you're driven. Actually, when one gets possessed by his greed, he becomes driven. He can't sleep. Usually that's when people are attached. I can't imagine losing sleep over your attachment to buying a new cell phone. I really want that iPhone, but I don't have the money. Oh, I can't sleep at night. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I can't imagine possible. And then you're working and you're saving, and then finally you get that motorcycle you always wanted, whatever. This is mundane. But here, it's a different fixation, is that read about these services. I want this service and I want that service, because Rupa Goswami says this is the entrance point for Raganuga practice, that you read about the servants, the Brijvasis, and the Brajaloka Anusarata. Brajaloka Anusarata. That Anu means you want to follow the seva and the bhavas and the moods. You want to be like them. You don't want to be them, you want to be like them. I want to be a beautiful person. Like we read about the qualities of devotee. He's humble, he's peaceful, he cares for everyone. Gee, that would really be nice to be humble, peaceful, and care for everyone. I'm so egoistic, and I'm so selfish, we all have our downside, but we have it, if we're pious and somewhat cultured, we know we could improve. When you get your report card in 5th grade, the teacher writes on it, capable of doing better. You can do better, because you're just cruising by, you don't care about school, you're getting B, C, whatever. So all of us can improve, so this whole idea is, that's when it begins. I want to be like Rupa Manjari. I want to enter this group of beautiful people and serve like them and be like them and move like them. And if that's not there, then keep chanting, keep serving. Because it's rag. Rag means attachment based on greed. So then we read, it's no hidden secret, read Nectar Devotion, Bhakti, what we call, the Prabhupada called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and talks, there's 31 verses that just, out of the whole chapter about Vaidhi Sadhana, about Bhakti, Samanya Bhakti. There's 31 or 40 verses out of 300 that describe Raganuga Bhakti. And there's 280 verses that describe Vaidhi Bhakti, because that's kind of an introduction. So it just shows you the base. These are qualifications. So at this level, we want to hear about these sevas and relish them. So he says, with my hands, I want to relish the service of painting leaf pictures on your breast. So it described in the Shastras, Govinda Lilamrita, that the Sakhis, like Chitra Sakhi, you'll read Chitra Sakhi's painting Radharani's breast after she bathes in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 or so, or maybe earlier than that, because she goes to cook in Nandagon. Let's say 6:37, and Chitra's doing that from time eternal. And then I'll go there in Boma Vrindavan, and she will train me. She will teach me how to do this. And I will pray to her, "Oh, Chitra Sakhi, can you teach me how to paint like you do?" And so expertly. We all have the experience of taking darshan of various beautiful deities around the world. And we see right before our eyes the expertise of various pujaris. You know, how expertly they paint the face and arms of Radha Damodar in Sevakunj. You know, all this chandan and circles, or Radha Shyam or anywhere. So, oh, it'd be nice to do that. If you ever try to do it, you see it's not so easy to do. You know, it takes a very artistic and steady hand. So you appreciate that. So you watch Chitra painting. And what does she put on Radharani? What does she paint on Radharani's breast? There, we say Panchabana, the Kamadev, the Lord of Lust or the God of Love. He rides on Makara. Makara is his carrier. And often Krishna has that on, traditionally in Vrindavan, now what you buy for Thakurji, the Vamshis and little flutes, they're not very nicely made. They used to be made very nicely back in the like 75 when I was coming buying deity things, and some of the ones I have. They were very intricate and made in a mold, obviously, but silver and gold flutes, very intricately made. But the standard, without fail, in every flute of Krishna, at the end there was a makara. Now you just see some little bells hanging off. There's some little bells hanging off the end of the flute, or some little parrot with some kind of painted parrot on the end, or some little chain. Really junky. It's not artistic at all. But used to have, because that's, I don't think Krishna has that in the spiritual world, the makara, but became the standard flute. Makara, what is a makara? Makara is an aquatic creature, like a big fish, like a dolphin. We say porpoise or dolphin. They're similar. So it has a body like a dolphin, and has a nose like an elephant, and teeth like an alligator. And there's carvings here. You go to visit Prabhupada's temple, in his first temple in Nidhiban. It's called Vamshi Gopal Temple, where he stayed there. It's on the corner. Out of Radharaman, then go towards Gokulananda Temple, Radha Vinod Gokulananda Mahaprabhu, then keep going straight towards Yamuna, and then the road turns to the right. On the left hand, in that corner on the left is Vamshi Gopal. Then you go a little further up the right, that way, and there's the Gadadhar Pandit Dant Samadhi, the tooth of Gadadhar Pandit, which was brought here by his disciple. He never came. I don't know if it's still there, but the entranceway to that temple was in beautiful red carved sandstone. They probably threw it away and put white marble there. But in the old days, it was beautiful red carved sandstone, big, like three-dimensional carving and sandstone, about this big, almost like the size of one. And it was two makaras with their tails there, and they're going like that over the entrance, and their mouths were meeting. Very artistic, you know. No, there's an arch. You know arch? Entranceway from the street, and it's carved. So, in the front of the arch, there was the tail was there on the sides, and then coming towards the center was these two makaras on. So this is Krishna's flute. So now, Kamadev has certain symbols. It says Panchabana means 5 flowers. So one of them is mango flowers, one is ashok flowers, so this is what's painted on Radharani's breast. It says Patralam. It says here Patralam, it says Karamte Patralam Kimapi Kuchayo Kartum Uchitam. He says, I will, this kara means hands. You know kartals? Tala means beat and kar means hand. Right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So you clap your hands. That's kartal. And you put some brass there and it becomes kartal. In Sanskrit, kara means hands. So when with my hands will I paint these 5 symbols of Cupid on the top of your breast in different colors. Why? So when Krishna sees, oh, mango blossoms and ashok flowers, and there's 5, and I forget all of them. And that's what the Manjaris are painting there, not just some leaves. On the top of Radharani's, it says Patralam, so ashok means some ashok leaves are there. But on top of Radharani's eyebrow, they often paint leaves and little flowers. But specifically on top of Radharani's kucha, it says kuchayo. Kuchayo kartum. Kartum means to do. Kuchayo kartum. I will do that seva, because that will, these are udipan. Udipan means something that excites you or stimulates your mood or stimulates your feelings, so your heartly attraction. For example, someone might like to eat. He might have a deep stai rati for eating. He really likes to eat. Of course, that doesn't so much apply to devotees because we control our senses, at least sometimes, or we try to. But we all have our weak points. But so some people really like to eat. So they're walking down the street and someone is cooking. I just started cooking, and then the person smells something. Well, that smells like aloo tikki, very fresh. Or that smells like fresh bread. I want some bread. I like fresh bread, or whatever. I don't know, whatever. So then you follow your nose and buy some or whatever. So this is that smell, that fragrance becomes an udipan to stimulate your stairati, your permanent mood, your heartly permanent mood of attraction to eat a variety of delicious, tasty foodstuffs. Very basic understanding of Rasa Tattva. So in this department, we're talking about Madhurati. Madhurati is the stairati of conjugal attraction, love and attachment, and loving attachment. So different things stimulate love. If you see that lady is beautifully dressed, then the man will be more excited than if she just comes out in some old rags, a t-shirt and no makeup and no earrings, a t-shirt and some I don't know, blue jeans. They say, oh, you look really nice, let's go to the party. So, but then when she looks like she does on the day of her marriage, then the man gets really, it's a real udipan, he gets really excited about the offering here for his first day of marriage. So this is when Krishna meets Radharani, because we see there's a sequence here. I'm serving you with my hands and painting your breasts very beautifully, because everything, all the services the Manjaris are doing, every single service the Manjaris are doing is to give happiness to Radha and Krishna. And how do Radha and Krishna feel happy? When they meet together and associate and enjoy together, Sambhog Vilas, in so many ways. Dancing, singing, eating, Rati Keli, Kunja Vilas, all these are the ways they enjoy. So the Manjaris, their whole meditation, everything they're doing and how they're decorating Radharani. When Radharani is finished dressing in the morning, then they hold a darpan seva. So Manjari holds a mirror, a big mirror, darpan, in front of Radharani. And she looks, oh, Manjari, Sakis, you've done such a wonderful job. I look so beautiful. Every hair is in place and I've painted so beautifully and so attractive. Everything, the kajal is perfectly applied and the lipstick, everything, the jewelry, the perfect combination of necklaces and jewels and everything you've done. Fantastic, magnificent job. Quickly take me to Krishna, immediately take me to Krishna so he can feast his eyes, nature mahotsav, nature utsav, have a festival for his eyes when he sees me looking so beautiful. Because then he'll be very pleased very happy and very excited. And then I'm offering my beauty of my posture and my clothing and my appearance, and my looks. Then I'll offer in the beauty of my whole being when we unite together in the kunjas. So this is as soon as Radharani sees. So the Manjaris are part of that whole offering. The Manjaris all their sevas is to prepare Radharani to offer to Krishna, or to bring Krishna to Radha. So this is part of their offering. So it's a sequence. First I will paint your breast after you bathe, and then you'll run out on Abhisar. You're ready to meet Krishna. So Abhisar means a lover's love journey, or the rendezvous to meet the lover. And he says, I will paint these leaf pictures. Karam te patralam kimapi kuchyo kartam uchitam. Param te kujeshu priyam visarantya avisarito. He says, then my feet, my hands are engaged that way. My feet are serving you. How are they serving you? By running as fast as I can to try to keep pace with you as you streak through the forest with lightning speed to meet your beloved. And there's nothing faster than the speed of love. The speed of love is we have this bullet train or something in Tokyo, and rocket ships and telecommunications and Google and high-speed 5G, 10G, 100G internet or whatever they have. But that's slow when it's compared to the movements of the lover to the lover, beloved. It's like lightning. Lightning goes so fast, but Radharani goes faster than lightning. So the Manjari says, Param te kunjeshu priyam. Oh, my Priyaji, I'm running to the kunja with you, behind you. Abhisarantya. He says, you're going to the arbors, the forest bowers and kunjas to meet your beloved Priyatam Shri Shyamsundar. And this is now my feet are engaged. So Ambarish is saying, when I will engage my feet in running to the temple. So that's in Vaidhi sadhana. So now it doesn't really change much, it's just the focus changes from the mandir to the kunja mandir. From Thakurji's mandir in Moscow to the Kali mandir. The Kali means pastimes, the Kali mandir in the groves of Vrindavan. And the Thakurji aren't stuck there in marble, fixed in marble or wood or brass, ashtadhatu. They're totally moving everything. So the Thakurji becomes Sakshat Mamata Sri Krishna, and then Rati Murtiman Radharani, the personification of lover and beloved, are there, technicolor, full, everything, transcendental forms. And you're running and you see them. So that's what they say. Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga, one is propelled by his rag, his attachment, his budding or growing loving feelings towards serving Radha and Krishna in a particular way, in a particular place, in a particular method and manner, as inspired in the heart and guided by the Shastras, an example of those lovers and servants that he's following. Rag Anugata. The Rag Atmika Bhaktas. So this is the whole practice. So there's a mandir, but it's the Kali mandir. And there's murtis, but it's Murtiman. Smara Murtiman. The Shastras say there's a Murti, Sri Murti, Archa Murti in the temple. There's also a Murti in the Kunja called Smara Murtiman. Smara means erotic love. Smara. I don't mean smaranam. This is Smara. The Smara Murtiman. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Shyamsundar Gopinath, is a very form of erotic, transcendental, spiritual, divine, erotic love. And Radharani's and then there's the Murti of Krishna, Smara Murtiman. And there's the Murti of Radharani, she's the Rati Murti. Rati means the wife of Kamadev, the goddess of attachment and transcendental attachment. And you're running to the temple to do your seva as a pujari. And now you're running behind Radharani. Your deity has come off the temple and is running through the footpaths. So he's praying, when will my feet be engaged this way? There's two levels of this. There's a level for the siddha, and there's a level for the sadhak. Because on one level of this verse, and many verses are like that, the writer of the verse, of course, is a Nitya Siddha Sakhi or Manjari of Radharani. Most we have Manjaris, or Sakhis and Manjari Bhav, as in this exceptional case of Tungavidya Sakhi, who is Prabhu Ananda Saraswati, who has adopted the mood and form of a Manjari to serve and experience to serve Radharani and Manjari Bhavalaswati, Manjari Bhav, and have that experience and reveal it to us and show us this practice. So he's showing us as a siddha, he may be having sporti, so he's actually chanting and meditating on this lila. Radharani is taking bath at night or in the morning, we can't say, and she's getting dressed up to go meet Krishna. And the person, that's Sripad, is in his sporti, in his deep meditation on the level of bhava and prema. He's actually lila pravesh. He's entered the lila. Pravesh means to enter. He's entered the lila and he sees it fully in four-dimensional transcendental color and experience. Or 5 dimensions, however many dimensions there are on that level. And then then sometime like Vilap Kusamanjali, Rati Manjari, Tulsi Manjari is like this, totally absorbed in the Leela, painting Radharani's feet, and then somehow loses that fixation, that samadhi breaks, because Yoga Maya withdraws it from his consciousness. Yoga Maya bestows that deep meditation upon him, or that Leela Samadhi, and he enters into it fully absorbed and seeing it all, Sakshat Darshan, direct participation. He's holding Radharani's feet in his spiritual hands within his heart and mind. Then he loses it. Then it's called Vilap, lamentation. He laments. Oh, the batteries went out. He laments, I lost it. I can't see Radharani's feet anymore. I lost her darshan. What to do? And he's crying. Those verses are there, Vilapa Samanjali. So on one level, this verse can be taken from the siddha level. That Sripad is having this direct experience, he's seeing it in his meditation. And another level, he's writing for us. And that's obviously the level that is applicable to our situation. Where we are as Raganuga sadhakas practicing Raganuga Bhakti, or hearing about it and cultivating interest in it all. So now, taking this down to the sadhaka, now the sadhaka in his meditation, he's not on a level of bhava, maybe narta nivrti or nishta, whatever, but he's inspired and he's been accepted by Guru and Krishna, and he's going forward on this path of bhakti, Rag Marg, under guidance and blessings of Guru and Vaishnavas. So he meditates like this, yes, because that word, that key word is there, kada. Because the word kada, or rather in this verse it says yada, yada, kada, kave, they mean when. This word doesn't mean anything for siddhas. Those that are siddhas, the nitya siddha parishads, eternal associates of Radha and Krishna, they're there in Astakali Leela. They're moving from one Leela to another. So they're not praying and thinking and meditating, when will I get a chance to serve? When will I paint your breast? When will my feet run behind you? They're not. So this word indicates especially, this is where, yes, when, so now I'm meditating, yes, when will, I'm in my meditation. And I'm in my Manjari Swarup, and I'm seeing. And Chitra Sakhi is there, or maybe Guru Sakhi, they say, listen, you've seen me so many times painting, now you try. So then my hands are engaged. When will my hands be engaged this way? Because that's what he's saying. When my hands, when my feet, when my eyes. And so many verses we've covered and will cover with this idea. So what this does, this is like, I often use the analogy, like painting a fresh cement wall. You have some wall that's cement, then you want to put a color, but first you put primer paint. Primer paint means white. You keep painting white, 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 and then it becomes very covered with white. Then you can easily apply any color. So all these meditations and these classes we're hearing about seva and actual practice of meditation and sadhana abhyas. Sadhana, it's like painting the walls of our mind, painting the walls of our heart. There's lots of nonsense and blackness there, so we keep painting. Every lila, every class, every meditation is another coat of white. And we're whitewashing our hearts and cleaning our hearts and establishing these thoughts. This is the embedding. It's called the embedding or engraving, embedding or etching of sanskaras. It's called bhakti sanskaras. And specifically, they're from Madhurya Seva. The Seva, Radharani Seva sanskaras. Sanskaras means deep impressions in the chitta. So we, reading and meditating, the more we read and meditate, then it starts to crystallize, it starts to manifest easily. So he's saying, when will my hands be doing like this? When will my feet? So we meditate on our hands. Now we meditate on our feet, because he's telling us when. So now I'm meditating. Because Raganuga Bhakti means to meditate, means to remember. This is the practice. And all these verses and all these guidance are how to meditate, how to reflect. So I'm meditating like this, and Radharani's running out, and she's so beautifully dressed. Then he says, when with my eyes can I witness your pastimes? He's saying, it's as if these parrots, they come and listen to some of the class, and it's almost over. So they say, all right, we got the main ideas here. Let me go to Barsana now and tell Radharani what he said about you. But Radharani, he was saying like this, Acha? He said that the Manjaris eat Krishna's tongue. That's not she said, this is good. But then they go off with a shriek, like they always do. They shriek. You don't even know that, you only know that they're there when they leave. Or when they're singing. But a lot of times, when they want to tell some katha, then they sing. When they want to, there's Shravanam Kirtanam. So the parrots come and listen. When they leave, they go, ah! Or sometimes they come and speak Harikatha, so you can Shravanam Kirtanam. That's my experience. In the morning, they're telling me what to say in the evening. In the morning, they come and say, you say like this and like that. And I say, oh, okay, good. And then they go and they come back and say, oh, how are you doing? It's the bhav, you know? Either bhav or insanity, either one. Well, they're pretty synonymous. When you come to the level of bhava, you're basically crazy about Krishna. In 11th canto, there's a verse that says, Evam supriya nama, Evam supriya nama Evam brata, Evam brata priya kirtam, supriya nama kirtam. Evam brata supriya nama kirtam. That's how it starts off, Evam brata. 11th canto. It's explained. This is the symptom of one in bhav. Krishna is explaining to Uddhava. Very famous verse. It's in the Shlokamrita book from the Gaudiya Math, and it's also, of course, 11th canto. It says, when will I become evam supriya nama, evam brata supriya nama kirtya? When will I be evam brata? When will I have a firm vow or resolution, priyanam, that I will chant my favorite name? I will just be attached to chanting my favorite name, maybe Mahamach or whatever, but generally it means like one name, Priyanama Kirtya. I will do kirtan. Then it says lokabhayam. It says, and sometimes it says hasati rodana. And as I'm chanting, I'll be chanting my favorite name, and sometimes I'll be laughing, hasiti, and sometimes I'll be rodana, crying, and sometimes I'll dance, nritya, lokabhayam. I won't care. Loka means the the people. Bhayam, they're bhaya, loka bhaya. They're far away. I don't care. I don't care about public opinion. I don't care about anything. So they're just crazily dancing, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. And we've seen some people like this over the years. Some sadhus, and along the Vrindavan Prikrama mark, there was one person who was just there. This was in like 78. He was there a couple of years, and I don't know, didn't see him. Maybe he went to Radharani. He was there on the Prikrama mark. We did Prikrama every day. And he's always just lying there on the side. I don't know why there, but he was there. Radhe, 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 Radhe. And now there's one man at the Radhakund. He's not that ecstatic, but he's pretty regular. I've seen him for a few years. Not that many, but he's been a few years here. You see him, he walks up and down Gopinath, Janamagat, Das Goswami Ghat. Very nice person, very nice. And Radhe, 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 Radhe. He's very cheerful. So he's a little mad about that. So this is the ultimate point. So we follow on a rendezvous, and then finally we see that this beautiful pastime, Drisho Kunja Chidres, Nibritta Keli, Kalitam. When will I see your Nibritta Kunja? This means very secret, private, solitary place, Nibritta. And then it says, there's a verse, Ekale Ishvara Britya Arasabhya Britya. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasabhya Britya. So Britya means people, it means persons or servants. So this means, near Britya means no one's there. It's a very solitary, private place. And I'm there, Drisho, and I'm with my eyes, I'm engaging. So when you take darshan of Thakurji in the morning in the temple, you use your eyes. You're looking. So someone says, oh Prabhu, what's your seva? I'm looking at the deities. That's all. No, you're supposed to cut vegetables, sell books, you're supposed to do something. I mean, move your hands or dance or, no, hey, don't bother me. This is my seva. And this person's really smart, and he wants to try to bewilder the temple commander. Temple commander says, listen, you've been there for a couple hours. Now, come out of the temple and do something practical. Do some real seva. This is, I don't know what you call seva. Hey, wait a minute, Prabhu. Prabhupada would stand for hours and hours to look at the Radha Govinda deities. When he was a young child in Calcutta, he would go to the Malik's temple, and all the young boys were playing in the streets and frolicking and doing nonsense, sports and whatnot. But Abai would go and stand in the Malik's, whatever it's called, Malik's temple, their private temple, their rich people down the street, and just gaze and gaze lovingly at Radha Govinda. And when he came to India, the very first deities he installed in Calcutta were Radha Govinda. Because that's, where he used to see Radha Govinda. So when you go to ISKCON Calcutta, it's Radha Govinda. That's Prabhupada's Radha Govinda. And then when Prabhupada traveled around the world, he had very small deities. I don't know, they ended up somewhere. They were also Radha Govinda, very small. I saw. Ashtadhatu. So this is a seva. So with the eyes, he's saying, my eyes, I want to stare for hours. And as many hours that Radha and Krishna enjoy their Nibritta Nikunja Lila and the groves of Vrindavan. So this is, we're about out of time. So he's saying, the closing is, there's 3 services, and then his hankering, his prarthana, his prayer for these things. Yada vikshe radhe tadapi bhavitakim shubhadinam. Shubha Prabhat. Shubha Prabha means the sun rays, and Shubha means good. In Hindi, this good morning, a very colloquial, very old Hindi, we say good morning. In English, good morning. And that means Shubha Prabhat. Shubh Prabhat. Shubha Dinam. Dina means day. When will that auspicious, the translator says, when will that lucky day come when I can see like this in my meditation? Because that lucky day when we're practicing to attain perfection. You practice guitar, you want to learn to be a musician and singer, you get a harmonium. You practice harmonium for that lucky day to come when you can sing a kirtan and actually sing, you practice a raga or you learn a raga, and then wow, look, I'm singing the raga. This is practice, and then the day comes. So that's what meditation is. Practice, practice, practice. And And then you get some experience and some reciprocation from the Lord, and finally the lucky day where you have darshan. And what to speak of the lucky day when we attain that perfectional service that we've always been hankering for, life after life. So this is the last line of the verse is, when am I going to see all this? When is it all going to happen? So this is basically conclusion. You get this, the intimate service. And there's a nice prayer, he concludes it. Srila Anantadas is included in his tikas, these prayers by one great devotee, Haripad Srila, who put this Sanskrit into Bengali in a very nice bhajan. It says, Hey Shri Radhe Vinodani Ramani Mukutamani. Hey Shri Radhe Vinodani Ramani Mukutamani. Krishna Mahi Krishna Priyatam. Amara Karite Kobo Tomara Ki Tomara E Kucha Yuge. Chitravali Koribo Rachana. Hey Hari Garavani, Hele Kunja Jabe Tumi, Abhisare Govinda Betite, Mora E Duti Para Lobe Ki Gobe Abhishrita, Sei Samoy Tomara Sangete, Jugala Sambhog Lila, Aparupa Kili Kala, Rasera Bhadra Kotodine, Kunja Chidra Patadia, Dekibo Ki Hari Priya, Sripad Prabodhananda Vani. That's very beautiful. So the translation is basically there are lots of wonderful names of Radha here. There's 6 beautiful names of Radharani. And it's one bhajan, it's one pada, there's 6 beautiful names. Vinodani, Vinodani Radha, Krishna Mahi Radha, Ramani Mukut Mani. Mukut means crown, Mani means gem, Ramani means lover, intimate lover. Hari Garvani, this means one who takes one who is the person who is the pride of Krishna. Hari Garvani means that Krishna's pride and joy is Radha. Hari Garvani. So she's Hari Priya. Many ladies have that name, Hari Priya. It means very dear to Hari. So very nice. I just wrote these on the side. 6 beautiful names of Radha. Vinodani, Vinodani, Krishna Mai, Ramani Mukutmani, Priyatam, Hari Garvani, Hari Priya. So that's the conclusion of today's verse. Hankering for these sevas and to meditate on these sevas. And may this all become our Shubhadin, that auspicious day. Let it come sooner than later. Shri Radharasa Sudanidhi.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Prabodhananda Saraswati Pada ki Jai, Shri Kartik Devi Radharani ki Jai, Shamakan Radhakundi Govardhana ki Jai.